was the thought of a woman who lives alone with her cats terrify you? Yeah, I know. It does seem to be a thing in the year 2025 that we are still scared and terrified of a single woman, particularly if she's older and divorced, because you know she caused that divorce. She did not keep that husband around. Gosh forbid she lives with cats. Yeah, I know. I feel sometimes as if we're being transported back to the year 1625, because I watched an influencer who is over 50, and someone accused her of living alone with cats. And boy, did she dispel that myth. And she's a feminist, and I'm not even a feminist. And she's like, boom, here's my cute hubby behind my shoulder. Girl, I don't live alone with cats. I'm not one of those people, one of those witches, one of those dangerous people out in the world that live alone with cats. Okay, so this is a video that you're gonna wanna watch to dispel some myths. And if you're interested in these topics, I am Casey Ann Reynolds. I am a health coach in the Nashville area to help you maximize your health, wealth, and happiness. Please subscribe. I have a white cat and a black cat. And my white cat has been diagnosed by the vet that he's going to die because of some sort of genetic issue that he has. He's only 8, Yuki. But this is the 3rd time vets have said that he's going to die, so we're praying and hoping they're wrong. But my black cat was actually lost for 6.5 weeks and discovered by a witch. Her name is Tiffany. I'm so thankful. Alrighty, so yes, I live alone with cats. I'm 58 and I live alone with cats. So we are just going to dispel some myths here for half a hot minute. Because first off, why in the year 2025 are we still arguing this? That's what I don't understand. It's just like, why is it that if you are single and female and gosh forbid own an animal that's independent and you can actually go off and do your own thing and maybe actually have your pomegranate martini, cheers, a loving individual that wants a low maintenance pet that will cuddle with you at the end of the night, and you don't want to have to deal with a human in your bed, yeah, watch my video on self-love. What is it that makes you a pariah of society because you live alone with cats? So thinking back to the Middle Ages, the women that were targeted were of course women. They were often midwives, they were often the healers, they were often the spiritualists, and they brought enlightenment to society. So the Catholic Church at the time was very much against them, and they kept cats to keep the rat population in control, right? And guess what? When the Pope at the time, he got rid of all the cats, and then the Bubonic Plague happened and 25 million people died because the cats actually were of a good purpose to keep that rat population under control. But the whole thing, it goes back to, especially with this woman who claims to be a feminist, is that the men, the male society at the time, were very intimidated by the midwives who are practicing better, more herbal remedies. And so I kind of can relate to this because although I'm a health coach, I don't always prescribe to all of the things of modern medicine, and I'm very safe and I'm very careful, but I do believe that our American society is killing us particularly I'm going to be creating a video about sleep like a baby, is that we can't sleep. We do not have time to have social connections, to eat a proper diet. The diet that we're given, I wouldn't feed to a raccoon. No, would not, or a possum. It's just that we're being poisoned by our food supply. We have no time. I was at the oil change place and this guy was like, hey, you're gonna need new tires. I'm like, oh, I wanted to go to Costa Rica. Don't tell me I need new tires. Cheers to that, friends. Who wants new tires? I want to go to Costa Rica. I don't want new tires. But anyhow, sad story. People like are driving in and their tires are completely bald, like the wires are showing through. And these are hardworking middle-class people with babies strapped in the back who can't get new tires. That's the way our American society has become. We are hamsters on the hamster wheel. We have all become lives alone with cats. We've all become discarded by society. If you turn 50 or 55, have fun trying to find a job. It's like, oh, well, you're really valuable when you're cute and young, but boom, out the door you go. That is the way of our world. It is the way of our world. And so as we contemplate these issues, it's like, what are we going to do about it? Like, how can we get our society back on track? So at the time, the women who were being persecuted and were being burned as witches were trying to help women have babies. We're trying to have a more herbalistic approach because at the modern times, which they considered to be modern, were very just like didn't wash our hands, and it had some very beliefs that were just completely illogical that were causing a huge amount of deaths. So the women were actually just trying to have common sense. Yeah, their husband died or their husband ran off. They did not cause this, right? They were just trying to help people. They happened to be alone. They happened to have a cat to kill the vermin that were around their farm, but yet they got persecuted. So let's get back to that concept that we have our ruby red slippers on, friends. We have them. We know that society can go back to a better time. A better time where we had community, where kids weren't like on their phones 24/7, where as I quit as a teacher, you have to watch that video as teaching has become so toxic. I used to love kids. Now I can't stand being around them. They're on their phones 24/7, where life was mañana life, where life is simpler. And I know we can get back to this times, but women tend to have that wisdom because we actually procreate the race, you know, and mamas, grandmas, we know these things that people need. And so there tends to be this male oligarchy that, and I'm not a feminist, I truly am a very conservative human being, but there tends to be this male oligarchy that determines what is right in the world. And right now it's AI, right now it's just like destroy the economy, destroy the environment. You know, lots of different things are going on that the food supply is totally and completely contaminated with so many chemicals. And I feel like women can get us back on track. Even those women that live alone with cats, because why is it throughout human history that we have been so scared? Even this influencer, a feminist influencer, a former trad wife, she's so terrified of being called alone with cats. Oh my God, that's literally the worst thing. Well, I'm gonna call you a serial murderer or alone with cats. I don't know which would be worse. So she had to bring out that cute hubby. I don't need a cute hubby. I have myself because I know that I practice self-love. I love myself. I know that God loves me, and I know my cats love me. And if you're loving this video, you do want to watch my next video. It is self-love, and you're gonna love that video, friends. Thank you, and I'm wishing you peace, love, and joy.